I don't remember pressing the start stream button. That's not a figure of speech. I genuinely don't remember the moment it happened. Usually, Twitch always sends a notification, a sound, a blinking interface, a short delay before the camera light turns red. This time, there was nothing. The screen just showed that I was live. No warning, no countdown. I decided it was a bug, and my first instinct was to check the viewer count, but I stopped myself for some reason. A strange feeling popped into my head as if I shouldn't do it, as if seeing the number too early would make something permanent. I opened the chat. It was empty. I breathed a sigh of relief and was about to say hello, as always, the usual "Hey chat," but the cursor froze in the input field. In that very moment, replies appeared in the chat. A few short messages, no username, no emotes, as if they were waiting for me to start typing. I felt everything inside me clench, and I quickly muted the microphone. I hadn't even managed to say anything, but the feeling was that I had already been heard. I tried to laugh it off, tell myself it was lag, a glitch, that I was just tired. The camera was positioned exactly as I had left it. I turned away for a second, literally a second, to check the settings, and when I looked back at the screen, the angle was different. The camera was slightly lower, as if someone had moved it to show more space behind my back. I reached out to adjust it, but my hand froze. It suddenly became clear to me that if I moved the camera back, I would be admitting the change was a mistake, and it wasn't. New messages started appearing in the chat. Strange usernames, just numbers, long strings of digits that meant nothing to me. They didn't write words, only dots, sometimes pauses. I scrolled up through the chat and noticed that some messages appeared before I even started the stream, as if the broadcast started before me. I closed the chat, not reading further. I felt that if I continued, I would start seeing things there before they actually happened. I decided to rewind the stream recording to check what was at the beginning. The interface allowed me to do this even though I was still live. When I saw the first few seconds of the VOD, a chill went down my spine. The frame showed my room, empty. The camera was already running. I didn't log in. I just appeared later, as if walking into an already ongoing scene. New donation notifications started coming in without sound, just numbers. I didn't thank them. For some reason, I was sure the money didn't come to me. The chat screen opened itself again. A pinned moderator comment appeared there. I didn't write it. I didn't even remember having an active moderator. The message was short. Don't look into the lens for more than 5 seconds. I smirked, but the smile quickly disappeared. I caught myself staring directly into the camera. The seconds stretched too slowly. I abruptly covered the lens with my palm. At that moment, the sound in my headphones changed. My own voice, when I spoke, sounded calmer than I felt. Too even, too clean. I went silent and muted the microphone. The chat reacted instantly. Messages came faster. The viewer count grew. I looked at the counter and realized the number was rising, even though the room behind me was empty. The light hadn't changed. The door was closed. There was no one there, except for what wasn't directly in the frame. I stood up and left the room, without stopping the stream. The corridor was silent. I turned back to look at the monitor through the slightly open door and saw that the camera was still filming. The frame was the same, but something new had started in the chat. Numbers, just numbers. 1, then 2, then 3. No explanations, not like a timer, not a countdown to an event. It looked like an inventory count. I rushed back to press end stream. The button was inactive. Instead, a message appeared, stream stable. The chat continued counting. I realized they weren't counting seconds, they were counting me, what was left of me in the broadcast. The camera angle changed again, now showing more space near the ceiling. It was darker up there than it should be. Something tall, too stretched, occupied that darkness, but the lens refused to focus. The stream title changed. I didn't read it aloud. One glance was enough for me to understand. If I said the title,
I would be agreeing with what was happening. The screen flickered. The chat wrote, "We still see you." I realized they weren't talking about the video anymore. When the stream finally switched to offline mode, I felt relief. It lasted less than a second, because the sound remained. A quiet background noise, like a working microphone. The camera was still on, and a new entry appeared in the broadcast history. I didn't create it. I left the room and never returned. The cameras continued to run. The stream continued. They were no longer counting in the chat. They were finished. If you are watching this now and think it's just a story, check if your camera light is on. Sometimes a stream starts without the streamer and ends without them too.
Before this video ends, make sure it actually ends. Check the red light on your camera. If it's still on, don't look at it for too long. 5 seconds is already too much. If the chat in your head feels louder than usual, it means someone stayed after the stream. Leave a like while your name still belongs to you. Write a comment to prove it was you watching, not whatever remained. And subscribe, because some streams don't stop, they just wait for the next channel. If you ever see the chat start counting, don't wait for 0. Just leave. Goodbye, if you're still offline.